Okay, you guys. So, some of y'all may be familiar with my lover, Marcus Mitchell. Y'all know I met him on Valentine's Day this year, and that's when we got together. Come closer, babe. So, Marcus loves me, he says. And I tell him that I love him back. So, I just want to give y'all a little bit of information about um like my struggle. When I got with Marcus, I was pregnant already and I didn't tell him the truth. So it was very awkward. And I was lying. Well, I wasn't lying to him, I just didn't tell him. And I had been on the streets, but y'all know I went to the shelter. Y'all know my whole story or whatever. But the bottom line is that my child father name is Austin Metter. And he's a white Caucasian male. I have one child with him. And they have been denying my pregnancy and denying me medical care from Texas. Y'all know about how I was incarcerated for protecting me and my son. Well, they brought me into the jail pregnant and bleeding and denying me the medical care in the jail. Then they held me back there for 10 months and denied giving us extra food to eat because they were denying the pregnancy, and I lost 50 pounds. My body started to eat itself and I bled the whole time. So when I got out, the baby was still alive and I went to the hospital. And when I went to the hospitals in Texas, they refused to do sonograms and ultrasounds because they knew that the jail had refused to help us. And I recorded everything. So y'all seen the videos of them denying the ultrasound at Ben Taub Hospital. So I told y'all about my sister and how I went to my little sister's house and I asked her to feel my stomach to see if she could feel the baby, and she didn't want to and made me leave her house. God said that she just didn't want to acknowledge that I was pregnant because she didn't want to acknowledge that people had wronged me and that people had been abusing me while I'm pregnant. They was over there trying to run up behind my white baby daddy and his white family, and all y'all seen my struggle. So I went to my aunt's house in Arkansas, and all y'all seen her having me outside trying to set me up. She felt my baby as well, and then she was trying to lie about it before I had went and bought a fetal heart monitor. Y'all know that I went to the shelter and how they staged stuff to have me in the shelter. So the point of me making this video is because Marcus knows that I'm pregnant. And this is my lover, and he know who baby it is because we want to have our own babies together. But how can I have his child if I'm still pregnant by Austin and they not giving me the medical care? So I feel like if a man really love you, he gonna have your back, right? So that's why I'm putting him on the spot because I got a little fetal heart monitor right here, and y'all might not think it works good, but it does. And when I turn up the heart monitor and I put the heart monitor on my belly, you can hear the baby heartbeat clearly. And okay, so I'm finna ask you some questions, baby. I've been using this heart monitor since, like, the whole time I was there, right, in the apartment. So I had this before I got there. Now, there have been times where you heard the baby heartbeat when I was using it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they was at the hospitals, they've been refusing to hook up any fetal heart monitor. They've been doing this since I was inside of the jail. I went to the emergency room at Cairo Regional Hospital. When I was going into labor, I had started going into labor, but I was very tiny. And they had refused to hook up a fetal heart monitor, claiming that my stomach was too small. And then lying and saying that I wasn't pregnant. They did it at Ben Taub. They had me put out of the shelter because they didn't want to acknowledge that this black woman is in this shelter while the United States is denying her medical care. So they just decided to put me out the shelter and stage stuff where they even tried to fight me. Her name was Rochelle Frazier, and the lady name was Officer Graham. And I need somebody to take care of that. I need somebody to go to the Salvation Army at 469 Marietta Street, and I need somebody to do something about Rochelle Frazier having me put out of the shelter for the government because I'm pregnant. And I need somebody to do something about Officer Graham, a big fat short officer trying to stage a fight to try to kill the baby outside of the shelter. And they tried to have me arrested to where I would have been inside a facility before I could prove that I was really pregnant and before I could get the medical care to help us and put out the evidence. So I'm trying to make love to my man this morning. And it's very stressful for me as a mother to be bending over making love, knowing that I have a little boy out there. He's 4 years old, and I want my little boy, and I'm pregnant. And so it messes with my mind, not being able to get the help and support as a woman of domestic violence. I can't even focus on living a normal life. I want to be able to move on with my life. So with me being able to get the medical care and put my story out there, once I get this baby out of me, do y'all know how free I be? And it's just putting a lot of strain on everything because it's not Marcus' fault that I'm with child, and it's not Marcus' fault that my baby daddy was abusing me. So why should he have to be the only one that know the truth, that know that I'm pregnant and that it's hard? So that's why I had Marcus go ahead and tell y'all that he knows that I'm with child. And hopefully somebody will see this video and be more willing to help me legally because me and him, we just in a relationship. It's only so much that he can do. But I appreciate you telling the truth, baby.
Okay.
All right.